Good afternoon. I'm Keith McBrayer. I'm the sheriff of Henry County, and I was going to update you on what's going on here today in Locust Grove and in Henry County. We had a situation at St. Francis Court in Locust Grove today where we had two deputies there with an arrest warrant for an individual. Around 10:53 this morning, I think, is when they actually called out on the scene. When they talked with the individual, and after about 10 minutes of talking with him, realized that they were going to be making an arrest, and they were going to have issues dealing with placing him under in custody. At that time, they notified radio, and a Locust Grove city police officer actually came also to be a backup for them. He was there in about 3 minutes after that. Trying to make an arrest, there was an altercation. As a cause of that altercation, we have two deputies that were shot and one Locust Grove officer that was shot. The Locust Grove police officer died shortly afterwards at the hospital. One sheriff's deputy is in serious condition and in surgery right now in Atlanta Medical. The other sheriff's deputy is at Atlanta Medical and is in fair condition. The individual they were there to arrest is deceased and was shot during this encounter. It's an active investigation. There's a lot going on, a lot of information being gathered this time. We notified the GBI and asked the GBI to come in to do the investigation, and they're here to give you any information that they can give you on this.
Thank you, Sheriff. My name is Nellie Miles. I'm the GBI spokesperson. At this particular point, as the Sheriff just said, it's very early in the investigation. We have identified the subject, and at this particular point, we are still working through the next of kin notification process. Once all of that is done, we will be in a position to update the public on the subject. So at this particular time, we just ask for your patience. It is a very emotional time for the Henry County community. As soon as we do have more information, we'll be able to update you. Thank you.
What was the nature of the arrest warrant? What was the nature of the arrest warrant you were serving?
The arrest warrant was out of the city court out of Locust Grove. I don't know the exact charge, but I think a failure to appear was the reason that the deputies were there. It had been sent to the sheriff's office to serve the arrest warrant.
We understand it was a traffic charge, failure to appear?
I'm not sure if it was traffic, but it was through their municipal courts.
I understand the Locust Grove officer who died was shot in the head.
He died at the scene. I won't get into that. Or shortly after. And we do have a one-page kind of a summary that we can give you in the back that has some of these details that you can get until we have more information that you can pick up from.
Can you explain any more details about was there an exchange of gunfire? How many shots were fired? Where did this take place?
It all happened inside the residence, but I do not have any details of number of shots fired and things of that nature.
Were there any additional people inside the residence besides the person that fired the officers?
There were.
No one else was wounded?
No.
We understand that the bulletproof vest played a key role in the officers who survived, at least the one that's, I believe, in fair condition. Perhaps that the vest played a role, and he'll have basically a bruise, something to that effect.
Well, both the sheriff's deputies had on vests. One, the one that's in fair condition, the round hit the vest. He has been checked out in other ways to see if he's okay. The deputy that's in surgery, the round probably went in maybe 2 inches below his vest into his stomach.
What do we know about the suspect here, and was there any indication that this is a person that they would have to go into the house with some sort of trepidation, thinking that he might be violent? It sounds like he wasn't somebody they thought
Had no reason to believe that when they arrived.
Could you talk a little bit about how warrant service is one of the most difficult things for officers to deal with, because they just don't know what they're going to walk into, even if it seems minor, like a traffic failure to appear?
Well, of course, you never know when you're going to take somebody into custody what kind of response you're going to get. But our information is that it was obvious that the individual was not going to go, and that's the reason they called for a Locust Grove officer to give them some more assistance, because they knew that he was not going to be willing to go with them.
Did this person have other problems before?
I have no idea.
Did the individual in the house, did he exit the house to converse with the officers, or did he talk through the doorway, or?
No, he opened the door. It all occurred inside the doorway, but I don't know where in the house all the conversations occurred. The GBI is working all that at this time.
Do you know what kind of weapon that the suspect had?
I don't.
At this particular point, it's still extremely early. The GBI right now is on scene. We're still continuing to process the scene. So we just ask for your patience, and what we'll do is come back to you and provide more updates and more details as we get them. And we'll keep you
Can
posted.
you talk about the deputies and this officer, how long they've been with the department, on the force, their experience? Were they rookies? Were they veterans?
I'll just say one of the sheriff's deputies had been there better than 20 years. The other sheriff's deputy was an actual certified, but he was a reserve officer that was with him that has vast law enforcement experience also. And I understand that the Locust Grove officer had been working with the city of Locust Grove for about 5 years. I don't know anything else past that.
That's all that we have right now, but we will come back to you shortly. Thank you.
Thank you.